One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to express employment professionals. Maybe you're a skilled welder, or you're an expert in logistics and distribution. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Express is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year.
Hi, this is Christy Taylor with Business Reel. Welcome to our show. Today we'd like to invite Michael Darr, who's with Bridgestone, and of course I have my good friend Jean here with me. Jean and I are going to talk to Michael a little bit about the background of Bridgestone and the culture here in Wilson of Bridgestone, and then I'm going to speak with Erica with Human Resources a little bit about jobs and employment and things like that available here in Wilson. So Jean, you guys been talking a little bit. Ask some questions about the background.
Well, great. In the history, and I've been in this area a long time and have always seen your large plant out there, know that you are known as a great employer. But give us the background. I mean, the company, one of the parent companies goes back to 1900, correct?
That's right. So Firestone has been around for over 100 years. And the plant here in Wilson was built in 1973, made the first tire in 1974. And in fact, just a week ago, we celebrated our 400 millionth tire.
Wow.
So we're very proud of that. And we've been operational for 41 years, 41 years without a production layoff. So very proud of that.
That's amazing.
Got
in
a
this
really
area.
big award lately too. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this past summer, our plant achieved the Carolina Rising Star status, which puts us in a very select group of employers that have excellent safety programs and recordable rates that are below the national average for our industry. So team members came together and week-long audit with members from OSHA came in and evaluated our systems, made sure that our numbers all matched up and what we said we did was evident on the floor. And I'm very proud to have the secretary here this past summer to acknowledge us with that.
Are there lots of locations throughout the country for Bridgestone?
For Bridgestone? Bridgestone has 7 tire plants in the United States. There are only 2 that make passenger tires. We're one of those 2 plants that make passenger tires.
And you came here from another Bridgestone location,
That's
correct?
right. I came from our plant in Aiken County, South Carolina, very near the border of Augusta, Georgia. I was fortunate to work there 10 years and have been now in Wilson for going on 8 years.
Michael, what does it mean, so to kind of put it in perspective to our viewers in the Tri-County area, for us to have the plant here? I mean, it's a big deal. Y'all are a big employer.
We have 1,750 people on our team that will wear the Bridgestone nameplate, and we have another 400 permanent contractors. So around 2,150 people draw a paycheck because we're in existence. Then, of course, there's other businesses in town that support our plant. So there's definitely a secondary effect of our facility being here. But very large employer and very proud of 41 years with no layoffs.
Jean, I'm going to interrupt again real fast. I always do that to you. That's amazing to me. In the staffing industry, we say that for every person that you have working for us, that you affect 4. That you affect 4 people because you help them, with clothes and eating out and things like that.
We all spend our money in the Rocky Mount, Wilson, Goldsboro area.
When you take your 2,100 employees times 4 people, the impact that Bridgestone is having on this area is just absolutely, completely amazing. And I knew you were here. I live in Rocky Mount, so I drive by you all the time. But the huge economic impact and social impact that you guys have on the area is just fabulous. So thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now I'll let Jean go back. But
you mentioned the word permanent contractors. What does that mean?
So they serve a variety of roles, everything from our security to our cafeteria to those that load the trucks to our facilities maintenance. There's just various kind of supporting tasks that we have had for a long time contract workforce for.
And they're all throughout the area. And then you mentioned another, so you've got the people who work in the plant, actually. You've got the contractors.
Right.
And was there another level that you mentioned?
Just those 2.
Okay.
Just those 2.
Okay. And do you have much turnover?
Our turnover is very low, actually.
Wonderful. Not
Again,
good for Christy and the employment.
No, it is wonderful. I'm happy for there to be low turnover at any company.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively.
It's not zero, but our folks do tend to stay. We've had over 70 people celebrate their 40-year anniversary in the last 2 years at our
Wow.
plant. So it's a great place to make a career and grow and a family and retire and enjoy it. And so because of the plant's longevity, we do have some natural turnover as people do retire, and so we are bringing in newer folks all the time because of that. Our turnover from a voluntary standpoint is very, very low.
Expansion. Any chance that you'll continue that you'll get bigger in the future? Or?
Well, there's always a chance, right? But right now we're stable at around 32,000 tires per day. The types of tires we make today are radically different than 10 years ago and 20 years ago. And we're always, of course, positioning ourselves to be a place of choice when Bridgestone decides to invest more money in a facility.
And how is the one here in size compared to the other ones throughout the country?
The two passenger tire plants, the other plant that I came from is now around 35,000 tires per day, so we're pretty close to even with that other plant.
And I would think the ongoing training that you have to do, I mean, you said there have been a lot of changes in tires. So are you having to add new equipment and new skills and whatnot?
Absolutely, constant. For instance, in the last 10 years, we've transformed one set of our tire machines to a whole nother set. So they could make a bigger tire, a 22-inch to 20-inch tire. We make run-flat tires at this plant. We're the only Bridgestone facility of the two plants in the Americas that make a run-flat. Essentially what a run flat does is that if you were to get a puncture, you could go 50 miles at 50 miles an hour before you would need to worry about that tire. So
I'm liking that.
It keeps you out of harm's way, it keeps you off the interstate. If you're in a bad place, you got a lot of opportunity to get yourself. Here's some environmental benefits. You don't need a spare tire. That's less weight in your car. We're really excited. Our plant is pioneering our next generation called the Drive Guard tire. It's something that's Bridgestone's advertising heavily on TV now, but it's essentially a run-flat tire that can go on any vehicle. Previous generations, you had to have systems in your car, and it was high-end cars like BMW and Cadillac. But now with this new Drive Guard tire, I could put it on my daughter's 2000 Camry if we make that size.
I'm glad you explained some of those terminologies. A few minutes ago, you said passenger or past tire.
Passenger tire.
But you didn't put the passenger, and I've been sitting here going.
I'm sure that
I've been sitting here
acronyms
going.
are a part of our
I was
business.
like, does he mean pasture tires? And then all of a sudden the light went off when you said the run flat. I was like,
Passenger
oh,
tires,
he meant passenger tires. So in case anybody else had that same thought, it's passenger tires. No, it was my
So
brain.
the number one tire we make in our plant in Wilson is for the Toyota Camry. So if somebody owns a Toyota Camry, there's a very strong likelihood that tire was made in Wilson, North Carolina.
And that's what comes on the car when it's purchased.
That's right. About 45 to 50% of what we make in our plant goes directly to General Motors, Toyota, Chrysler, Subaru, those companies to go directly on cars when they come out. And the other 50 to 55%, depending on the mix, every month goes to the Firestone stores or Costco or Sam's or other distributors.
Are your tires available at most places? As far as most people who sell tires to replace the ones that are on there, we can get yours.
Absolutely.
And
Probably can't get them from the Michelin dealer, but but from all the Firestone dealers, but a lot of
Gene, you
independents
walked
do
into
sell
that.
it.
Well, with the emphasis now, though, on better gas mileage, though, that's huge that y'all are doing so we don't have to have a spare tire. I mean, that's way
And the
everything
Drive
you
Guard.
hear.
Yep. And our plants has Bridgestone's new innovative Acopia tire that we helped launch. Really is designed with new compounds, new technology to give better rolling resistance so that your car can go 20 miles further on a tank of gas. So that's a great innovation that our plant has.
Yeah,
Are
absolutely.
there constantly, the research people who work for your company are always looking for the new latest
Yes.
tire?
Yes.
Do you get to go visit them and see what they're doing at
Yeah,
any time?
our facility in Akron as our research center, and they're constantly working with our folks in the plant to develop those tires 2 and 3 and 4 years down the road. So it's exciting. For a plant that's been around for a long time, it is very on the cutting edge with the technology we have in our plants. Most recently, we invested almost $40 million in robots to automatically take tires from the tire machines to the curing presses, and so it's a great mix of high tech in the plant.
I'm really picking up that you're excited about your job.
I
And I
am.
like that too.
I could talk to you guys
Yep, I was
for
just
many,
thinking,
many hours.
Yep, and with Express Employment, I was just thinking, I love talking to plant managers. I love going on plant tours because it's just awesome to see how much the people who work within the plants love the plants. So I think now we're getting ready to take a break, and then we're going to switch Michael out, and we're going to speak with Erica, who I'm sure is just as excited about tires and human resources. We'll be back.
Great, thanks a lot.
Finding the right employee can be demanding. From recruiting to interviews, Express Employment Professionals does the work for you. We get to know your business and who you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for skilled labor. Maybe you need a new executive to join your team. Find qualified people and support using Express for all of your staffing needs. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Express is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year.
Welcome back. We are joined by Erica Hauser, who is an HR section leader, and we're going to learn what that is, and Christy, of course. But Michael's very excited about Bridgestone, and I'm assuming that that's a lot of the culture of what you see of the employees who work there, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot of pride in the teammates that we have. We have a lot of teammates who have been there for many, many years, build their career there, and then retire out of the Wilson plant.
And what does it mean, Erica, to be a section leader in HR? Do you cover just one area? Not just, but I mean, HR is tough, but do you cover one area of that? Or do you do everything for everybody in that section?
We have 4 section leaders who report to the main HR manager, and each one of us support one section, one department of the plant.
And how many employees is that in your section?
In my section, we have about 450 employees, or I have about 450.
Christy, what does that mean to you as a person who works with?
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot of folks to handle. We have, well, never mind. Don't need to go there. But as far as handling people, but Erica, I'm really interested. We work with Express works with a lot of companies in the area. Every single one of them that we work with has a different hiring process. And kind of what we want to do on Business Reel, we want to help people learn how to get jobs in the local community. I know there's people out there who want jobs, and they need to know the steps that need to be taken to get them, and they need to be willing to take those steps. So would you mind telling us the steps that people have to take, and maybe some of the stumbling blocks, so that people realize that they need to miss those things so that they can get a job with Bridgestone?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are always hiring, so we have lots of job opportunities. The most number of people we hire will be for our entry-level production. And for entry-level production, the very first step that someone needs to do is sign up for the tire manufacturing class at a local community college.
Okay.
So they can sign up for that class at Wilson, at Nash, at Edgecombe Community College.
Okay.
And then the class takes it's about a 32-hour course.
Okay.
It takes about a month, and they have those classes every single month during the year. So once they successfully pass that course, then they would sign up for what we call the basic skills test.
Okay.
And it's a basic math test, and they would take that at our facility, and then once they pass that course, then they would do a face-to-face interview.
Okay.
Okay? And that's when they can really talk to us about their past experience, why they're interested, those types of things.
Let me rewind one step. The tire class, for me to sign up to take it at the community college, does it cost me anything?
It does.
Okay.
And it varies depending on the community college that you take the class. So it can range anywhere from $100 to $200.
Okay.
The other thing I'll mention is that if you're hired on and you are there for 6 months, then you can actually get full reimbursement of the cost of that class.
So the class, when you're in the class, I assume it's a kind of a pass-fail, or is it a grade, or how does that work?
It is a pass-fail, and you learn about the tire manufacturing process, and you also get a refresher on basic math skills to kind of help you later in the process with the basic skills test.
Okay, and attendance, I'm sure, is very
Attendance
important.
is very important. That's part of how they grade.
Okay, all right, very good.
The level of math that's needed, because you mentioned math a couple times. What level of math or math aptitude is needed to work at Bridgestone?
So it includes basic math, of course, adding and subtracting. There's fractions, there's measurements, reading gauges, things like that. And so we do a refresher to kind of help you because for some candidates it's been a number of years since they've done that type of math. So that course kind of helps them prepare for that because it is something that as a teammate at the facility you need to be able to understand and do basic math.
And so there's the team concept in the employment, like once somebody's hired, would they be put as part of a team?
Absolutely, depending on the role and depending on where they're hired. We have a number of entry-level positions across the plant in multiple departments.
What are some examples?
Let's start back with the interview.
Okay.
So if you don't
Sure.
mind, so I'm
No.
going step by step by step because I may want to go to work at Bridgestone. I
Okay.
really may want to go to work at Bridgestone. Can't do the math, and I want to know. So I've got to take the class. I've got to take the math test. I have to do my interview. You have to like me.
Absolutely.
Okay, what happens next after the interview?
Sure. So following the face-to-face interview, that's when we would make our contingent offers.
Okay.
And of course, the offer would be contingent upon a successful background check and a drug test. And of course, in the process, we also check references. So references for us include we'll contact your past employers and confirm attendance, confirm your job performance, and things like that.
Okay. And I know they do that because Bridgestone calls my office to verify people's dates of employment and things like that. So it is very important when you're filling out applications at Bridgestone or anywhere that you are writing down those dates correctly because companies in the area do absolutely positively check those dates. So, okay, now we're going to go back to Jean and the culture of the area. You had a couple of questions about the team.
You talked about that you would be part of a team. Is that the way most of the areas of the plant are set up?
Yes, I mean there's lots of team jobs. There's also individual jobs. I mean it really just depends on which department. We have some entry-level jobs that are driving forklift. So those might be more individual type jobs. So and then you can work your way up as well past the entry-level point.
And how much on-the-job training is there, Erica, and how much would they get by taking that course and passing the math skills before they even get there? I would think most everybody would have to have some on-the-job training once they're hired.
Absolutely. The on-the-job training starts day one, and we go through an extensive qualification process for each position. So, and it takes several months to really get fully trained on being able to do the job. And then, of course, we've got ongoing training throughout once you're employed.
And the salary range, I think I've heard y'all are very competitive in the area. So it's Christy, from what you hear, it's a really good place from that perspective, the benefits and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Y'all take good care of your employees.
So for entry-level production, the starting pay is $13.85 an hour. And there's a shift bonus, 69-cent shift bonus, so a total of $14.54 an hour. And that's base pay. You can go up from there, so it'll top out. You can go up to $27 an hour for production positions.
Very good. How about the Jean and I, we're so funny. Jean and I need to get a light to go together. How about the environment, the physical environment? Is it hot? Is it cold? Are we working 10 hours a day? Are we working 20 hours a day? Give me an idea of what
shifts.
Right.
3 shifts a day or what?
So most of our production positions are 8-hour rotating shifts.
Okay.
So you'll work hours of 8 to 4, 4 to 12, 12 to 8, and they'll rotate. In terms of the conditions, so there's definitely a physical aspect to the job. So you're on your feet, you're pushing, pulling, bending. Some of the facilities, some of the departments are climate controlled, some are not. So there are times where it's hot in the summer, absolutely, in North Carolina, but we try to give a good preview of what the job is, and we talk about that a lot in the tire manufacturing class.
Okay.
Really get a good feel for what the requirements are and what the environment is like.
And you said there are always openings, right? In a lot of different areas, or primarily in certain areas, or?
Absolutely, and definitely production as well as maintenance as well as engineering and other type staff salary positions. So for production and maintenance, we bring in new hires every single month. We have a new hire orientation, We range, I would say, from 15 to 20 new hires every single month. And that's mainly because, as Michael talked about earlier, the number of retirements that we have, people leaving through attrition.
In engineering, you said engineering, so you hire people who would have like a college engineering degree?
We do, yes. And the process for that is a little bit different, if you'd like to talk about that. But as we have openings for engineering and other staff, salaried positions, we post those online at bridgestoneamericas.jobs. And interested individuals can apply online, and then we take a look at their qualifications, and then we schedule interviews, phone interviews, and on-site interviews. So we currently have engineering opportunities. We hire electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, all sorts of different types of engineers at our facility.
Erica, one more thought question I've had. How many different counties do you guys pull for as far as employment in your area?
So we have lots of different counties. Our workforce, we have, of course, Wilson, Nash, Edgecombe. We have employees in Rocky Mount, lots of small towns nearby. So I would say anywhere within probably an hour commute. We have teammates who live in Raleigh who work at our facility, at Nightdale, so all sorts of areas.
Good, good. Sounds like you guys are just a fabulous place to work.
And probably they could commute. I mean, or carpool. If you have a number of people who are coming from those areas, I bet you have some good carpool. I want to say before we stop, though, I really enjoyed reading how environmentally careful y'all are. I mean, you hear about tires and disposal of tires and watching with CO2 and everything, and you all, from the literature that we read on the website, try really, really hard to be very cognizant and protective of natural resources in the area. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's definitely a focus for us, and one that we have improved over the years immensely.
Well, and improved in safety too with the OSHA award. So congratulations. Very, very few companies attain that designation.
Absolutely.
So that shows you're careful with your employees.
Absolutely. Well, I guess everybody, what it boils down to is if you want to work at Bridgestone, you got to file with one of the community colleges and take that class. That's the first step, and then you can get the ball rolling. There are jobs available in this area, folks. You just have to be willing to take the steps that you have to take to get those jobs, and there are good jobs, Bridgestone, available here in this area. Thank you for joining us today on Business Reel, and we will see you next time.
One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to express employment professionals. Maybe you're a skilled welder, or you're an expert in logistics and distribution. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Express is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year.